welcome to part 2. Let's get on. So I've given these 20 minutes, nearly half an hour. They haven't gone off quite yet, but they are ready to be manhandled. So give a few more minutes and I'll show you about the actual sides that I'm gonna create. So what I did, my first thing was to marry up one of the shelves with the sides. So this will be the bottom. So I've marked there, I've marked there the edges, which is giving me that vertical line there. And then what I did was I did one of the Tamiya pots. And for the next shelf, I want to make sure that it did a dual purpose, not only holding the next layer of paints, but that it's giving it a backstop for this paint from slipping backwards. That gave me a measurement there of 4 centimeters. Now this line here, I've knocked back a couple of, ordinarily it would go like that to fall in line with that, but I wanted to give the paints a bit of a breathing space at the back, so I've added 2 millimeters, almost a gap there. So this second shell will start at 4 centimeters, but I've knocked it back a couple of millimeters. And that measurement will be duplicated till we get to our 5th shelf. So what I'll do is I'll get these marked up. Get the rest marked up, and then we can start gluing. Measure that. Now this will be an odd measurement. So we've got 22, quite 22 and a half. That line there should give us the back of the shelf, front, back. So from that, you know the first shelf, the top of that lip there ends there, and then we'll take that measurement and take it to the last shelf. Should be there. And then in theory, will give us our top edge. And you can finish this however you want. I'll just give it a centimetres. Let's have a look. Should be alright. So there's our shape in theory. I'm going to commit now and cut it out. Remember, this is just a mock-up. Once it's built, we can decide whether we change dimensions or not. So if we just cut this shape out, this is always a tense bit because I mean tense, God, it's only what, a couple of quid for the board. Hoping we'll get both sides out of this sheet. Should do. Let's see why not. Using this as a template. Gently does it. So we've got two sides. One's marked, one's not. So let's transfer some of these marks. Now I'm thinking, because I'm still designing this in my head, I think we only need these lines. Now we only need these lines because hopefully this edge here should fit round there each time. Okay. So let's put it onto one side and we'll, I suppose we could start gluing. First thing to do is to de-pin these. So there's our 5 shelves. And now we just need to attach them to this. So, first one's going to go there. I'm out of my other glue, so I've had to use this one. Once again, generous amount. And I'm going to stick on there. Once I'm reasonably happy, we shall pin it. Pin from behind. Just wipe the excess off that. Now I know it's logic, but just make sure that before you commit to pin it, that it is flush with that edge. And as we did before with our little wedge tool, we just clean off the excess inside. This just makes sure that with the, I mean, don't go overboard with the glue, but just enough for it to squeeze out so it finishes off. Because you can paint this. You can paint this any colour you want. And if you're really clever, if you're watching or Blue Peter, you can wallpaper it if you want, but these can be painted. I'm sure they can. Although I do like the natural white. So what we do now, I'll glue this one and pin it. Can you see? Pinholes, I'm sure once it's all dried you can fill in with a bit of glue, PVA glue. Just wipe it off with a damp cloth. You don't want pinholes when you come to paint. all pinned to that side, and we need to let that set now properly before we start manhandling it to put the other side on. So we'll let that dry, and then we'll come back later and then fix the other side. Well, sorry about that, boys and girls. I've just spent the last couple of minutes videoing this and realised I was videoing the ceiling. Don't know, maybe that's more enjoyable. Don't know, maybe I'll add it. So during that process, it was adding the side. Where is it now? Adding this side bit. I started off with the first shelf, making sure we've got the corners right, and then working my way up, making sure that these fascia bits here were in line with the edge there. I did a bit of a support, strengthening support, and the same with the back, just to stop the paints falling off, give it a bit of a shelf. So we can start to depin all this. What I'm going to do next is fill the holes in, maybe add some paint. So spend a few minutes filling the holes we see. So I let that dry. So I see if I've got any rattle cans. Let's see if we can add a bit of paint to this. And here's the finished item, painted and stacked. Does the job. I'm happy with it. And here we have the Mark II. The only thing I've done here is that the measurements for the shelves are the same, but I've lowered them by 5mm. So it gives you that more shallower look. And I do like it in a natural board. And I think I'm gonna, for my next ones I make, just keep it as a natural board and keep my markings with the black pen to the minimum. Now I've got some more to make because I've not only got Tamiya paints, I've got Vallejo and Citadel. So that will mean changing the width of the shelf and maybe the front fascia from 15mm to maybe 20mm, maybe 25, I don't know yet. So the principle will be the same. So it should be a variation on this style. Now this hasn't cost me, what, less than a couple of quid? Take me a couple of hours. Why don't you give it a go? I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope I give you some inspiration. And I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you later.